make that 4 wins out of 4 as Arsenal continue their perfect start to the brand new season. As predicted in my preview, this wasn't an easy game and Fulham did have their moments, but when the going got tough, so did Arsenal, displaying the spirit of a top team and Arteta's attacking switch proving game changing, and so much more to analyse. So here are the 5 things that we learnt from Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boys channel. A sensational game at the Emirates Stadium, and I have to give a gargantuan shout out to the guys at Pickstory. Sending your boy to the game, the atmosphere was electric and I was so lucky to be there. Pickstory are doing amazing things to make a space where you guys can give your opinions without the fear of being abused or discriminated. I'm very proud to be a part of the initiative, and if you guys fancy being a part of it too, then all the details are down below in the description. Apart from that, don't forget to smash a like and subscribe if you are new. But let's get into the first thing, and that is magical Martin Odegaard. Arsenal's best start to a Premier League season in 18 years, it has been sensational, and in some of the games like Bournemouth, like Leicester, Arsenal were imperious, the far better team, and almost cruised to the 3 points. But this was a different type of 3 points, where Arsenal had to grind and Fulham made it hard. They stifled Arsenal in the first half, and in the second half when they scored the goal, many people must have been thinking, is this the game where Arsenal are going to collapse? But in games when the going gets tough and your backs are against the wall, who do you turn to? You turn to your captain. And in this game, the Arsenal captain and Martin Odegaard certainly stepped up. The official Sky Sports player of the match, scoring 1 goal, 2 shots on target, 91 touches, 40 passes in the final third, and 10.97 kilometers covered. In the first half, there were some magical moments, some of the passes, the flicks, the skills, and being lucky enough to watch Odegaard live in person is a lot of times where fans are left in awe with the skills this guy produces. But in the second half, when Arsenal had to almost up the tempo, every single Arsenal attack was going through Martin Odegaard, and he single-handedly controlled the Arsenal final third. These are the type of games where Martin Odegaard is going to thrive, because he is almost the perfect player at breaking down deep blocks. He has a very good blend of the short passing, the long passing, the ability to keep the tempo going, to play 1-2s and add some speed to the Arsenal attack. But when the moment arrives and there is a pass to be played in behind that is decisive, the prime example being for Eddie Nketiah in that second half, Odegaard has that final pass in the locker, and you can't be more decisive than when you're scoring a goal, as Odegaard made it 3 goals in 2 games. And yes, obviously the deflection plays a massive part and there's luck involved there, but in football it's very simple. If you don't shoot, you don't score, and Martin Odegaard taking the risk, taking the shot. I think Odegaard realises that if he wants to be in the same categories of the Kevin De Bruyne's, as great as his underlying numbers are in terms of the passing numbers and progressive passes, they're amazing. You also have to have the goals and the assist, and 3 goals in 2 games is certainly on the right pathway. On to the second thing, Arteta's attacking game changer. One thing that Arteta's Arsenal has always struggled with is the ability to come from behind when their team concedes first. The only time that I can think of is last season, and that being that game against Wolves at the Emirates Stadium and the last minute winner from Alexandre Lacazette. But apart from that, every time Arteta's Arsenal concede the first goal, they often go into their own shells and they don't have a plan B. But in this game, after Mitrovic scored in the 54th minute, just 5 minutes later, Arteta changed the game, bringing on Eddie Nketiah and moving to a 3-5-2. That 2 up fronts of Jesus and Nketiah caused so many issues, and in particular we have to give a lot of credit to Mr. Eddie Nketiah. Coming off the bench, he provided Arsenal with a fantastic outlet. I think in terms of profiles, Jesus is more of a false 9 than Eddie Nketiah, who is far more willing to run in behind and ask questions of the opposition. As Mikel Arteta says on Nketiah, it is not as simple as just bringing a striker on. It's what we've practiced, the variety of formations that we can use, and how we can make each other better, attacking different shapes, and then you look in his eyes and you say, he is ready to fight. For me, it was a game-winning sub from Mikel Arteta. Coming off the bench, whatever you make of Eddie Nketiah, he always causes issues. And when you end up with Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka as your wing-backs, it just goes to show that Arteta is not scared in terms of throwing the juggernaut. But not only was Nketiah fantastic, but so was the Arsenal team after going 1-0 down. They seemed to rise to the occasion where their passing got more crisper, more faster. They became even more aggressive in their pressing. And this stat of Arsenal having 52 touches in the opposition box against Fulham being the most that Arsenal have had in a Premier League game since December 2017. It just shows the utter level of dominance and the pressure that Arsenal were applying. It was very reminiscent of Arsenal's performance against Wolves last season at the Emirates Stadium, where the fans were fully behind the team and there was a sense of belief that despite being 1-0 down, this Arsenal team was going to come back and collect all 3 points, and that is exactly what they did. And that is something that if they want to become a true top team, winning games from losing positions is something they will have to do a lot more often. Moving on to the third thing, and that is the character of Gabriel. As organised as Fulham were in the first and second half, this was still a truly dominant Arsenal performance. And the XG of Arsenal's 2.52 to Fulham's 0.80 further indicates that. So when Fulham opened the lead in the 54th minute, it was definitely against a run of play, but it was of course a massive mistake from Gabriel Magalhaes. Now you could argue about the pass in the first place and why it's played to Gabriel, but at the same time for me there are no excuses. If Gabriel wants to be known as a top ball playing centre back, with the amount of time that you had to make a pass, you cannot dilly and dally too long, especially in the Premier League. But mistakes are a part of football, and young teams especially are always going to make mistakes. But it's then your ability to bounce back and respond which defines your narrative. Despite the error leading to a goal, it was a fantastic performance of a 93% passing accuracy and also winning 75% of both tackles and aerial duels. After making that mistake, I saw an even more aggressive Gabriel helping Arsenal sustain pressure, and it was an amazing response made even better when he scored the winning goal. Yet another Arsenal set piece goal and a fox in the box, Saliba assist as well by the way. And in the process, Gabriel has now scored 6 Premier League goals since the start of last season. No defender in the league has scored more in that time. We have a top goal scoring centre back, and that's an important trait. When he does score goals, often they end up being game winning. He was seen dropping to his knees after the full-time whistle. Forgetting about passing accuracies and stats, the passion and the desire, the fundamentals of football. Despite making a massive error, Gabriel did not allow that to define him. He took responsibility and scored the game-winning goal. That, my friends, is what you call owning your narrative. Moving on to the fourth thing, and that's Arsenal's midfield controller. Here's an amazing stat that with 517 passes against Bournemouth and 504 passes against Fulham, Arsenal have now completed 500 passes in back-to-back Premier League games for the first time under Mikel Arteta. In this game, Arsenal had 73% of the possession. It was true and utter dominance, and it was the most possession that Arsenal have had in any of their 4 games so far. To do that without key starters like Partey and Zinchenko will be low-key surprising to many fans, but not to myself, because of the passing excellence of Mohamed El-Neni. In this game, he had a 98% passing accuracy, and it's a further confirmation that El-Neni is one of the most secure passers in the Premier League. By no means is he as progressive or decisive with his passing like Thomas Partey, but if it's simply about keeping the ball and keeping it simple, Mohamed El-Neni is always going to be your guy. In fact, in that aspect, he's even better than Thomas Partey. But the only time that profile works in your team is when you have other players that step up and make the more progressive passes. And in this game, up stepped the Mbappe centre-backs, aka William Saliba. With a 95% passing accuracy, 102 touches, 91 passes completed, 9 accurate long balls, 6 time possession won, 3 duels won, 1 tackle, 1 chance created, and even a vital assist for the winner. Look at the celebrations after the game, the sensational scenes of Saliba. Saliba is a unicorn of a player. Even though he got an assist, his part in the first Arsenal goal is also very underrated. That progressive passing to find Bukayo Saka in between the lines, in the absence of Thomas Partey, was massive. And it once again shows that Saliba is a unicorn of a player that is so good defensively 1v1 and has the recovery pace, but also in terms of passing, not only is he very good at keeping the ball, but it's almost like he demands the ball, he wants the ball in tough moments, because it requires an unreal amount of confidence and self-belief, which William Saliba seems to have in abundance. I also have to give a shout out to Ben White, who I thought was very underrated. In this game, I believe Mitrovic might have caused him issues, but that wasn't the case. White is a very aggressive player where he wants to step in and intercept the ball, and that can be very good, but sometimes also to his detriment. But when you're playing as an inverted fullback, you have to be very careful and you have to control that aggression. And in this game, I think Ben White did that to a T. I also can't forget about Granit Xhaka. He wasn't as good without Zinchenko going forwards, but his ability to play as a midfielder, as a left back, as an attacking midfielder, that willingness to move into different positions, it makes Arsenal a far better team without many fans knowing it. Moving on to the fifth thing, and that is the Emirates is alive. I was so lucky to be there, not because of the performance or the results, but the atmosphere. The Arsenal fans were sensational, the atmosphere was fantastic, and it's the best that I have seen in years. And after the game, when Mikel Arteta was asked on the atmosphere in the stadium being the best in the last 10 years, he says, "I've got a friend who used to work for the club. He hasn't been here for many years, and he said the same thing as Alan Smith. So it must be true. Thank you so much." Fans just feel more connected, and even when Arsenal concede a goal, there is far more belief in this Arsenal team that they will come back. From the North Bank to the Clock Cairn, fans are smiling, they're happy, and even just walking around the city of London itself, there's just so many more Arsenal fans. After the game outside the Emirates, I even heard some Arsenal fans chant, "We've got our Arsenal back." Let's not over exaggerate, we have to calm down just a little bit. But at the same time, there is no denying that at the Emirates Stadium specifically, there seems to be just a sense, a feeling of something special brewing. And that something special is also the league table, as things stands, Arsenal are top of the Premier League once again, with 12 points out of 12 and 2 points clear of second and third place Man City and Brighton. Long may that continue, but we have to also look to the future. And Arsenal's next 6 fixtures are Aston Villa at home, Man United away, FC Zurich away, Everton at home, PSV Eindhoven at home, and Brentford away. United away, they're picking up form, they're getting better, and of course, United away is never easy, and we've not won there with fans there since 2006. But let's forget about United, the focus has to be on Aston Villa this midweek. Let's take it game by game, and if we keep winning them, then who knows where we can end up. But in terms of exciting stats, here are Arsenal's league finishes of seasons where they have won their first 4 league games. In 1930-31, it was first. In 47-48, it was first again. In 03-04, it was first and also invincible. The last time was 04-05, and that was second under Arsene Wenger. All finishes in the top 4. It's exciting stats, but again, step by step, let's move in silence and focus on Aston Villa. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future is not ours to see. But that is the video there and there, so hopefully you have enjoyed, and if you have, smash a like and subscribe if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of his social medias, then the links are down below in the description. Don't forget to check out the guys at Pick Story who are doing amazing things and will also have potentially more giveaways for Arsenal tickets this season. But that was the 5 things we learnt from Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. From the magic of Martin Odegaard to the character of Gabriel, 3 points in the bag and top of the Premier League. Long may that continue. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Take care and in a bit.